Hello Internet, and welcome to the start of a new series. As you can see, I'm starting up something in hardcore. However, this isn't just a hardcore Let's Play. So, a while back, there were these things called deity challenges running around for Minecraft. Now, what I'm about to do is not any of the canonical challenges running around. Rather, it's something that me and one of my friends threw together on our own time several months back that I've then updated for a few of the past few updates. Let's see what sort of world I'm getting this time. Ooh, plenty of birch trees. Good, good. Which is why I'm going to immediately start by instead punching an oak tree. Because I need some scrap wood that I'm not going to miss for my building to use for making tools and equipment. And I can't really say I learned anything from my last hardcore world, given that I already knew that skeletons hurt in the early game. Actually, no, I have learned something. I learned to have a plan for what my starter base is going to look like in advance of starting up my hardcore world, so that I don't get punished by the gods for my hubris, and don't have to sulk in a little box of shame made of dark oak wood. Ooh, and a jungle, birch forest, and pumpkins. That's not jungle, that's swamp. And that display should be on, because this is not a normal Minecraft run, this is a Lux Invictus run, and therefore I can't actually do anything in darkness. Okay, and that is surface accessible coal. Good. That's also a cave that looks suspiciously much like it's going to be a death trap, but okay. Out of here. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Ooh, surface accessible iron. Yoink, I will have shields. Because I might not be allowed to wear iron armor as, for silly challenge reasons. But shields are perfectly allowable for, my challenge. Now, let's escape from the... Ooh, lava. It's gonna get me killed later, probably, but that's also nice surface accessible lava I can use for certain projects later on. And that's just gonna burn. most of the rules for my Lux Invictus run are going to turn up much later into the run as I continue to build and progress, because most of it's not so much rules as challenge objectives for me to do over the course of this series. However, laying out the basic rules. Rule 1. I'm not allowed to interact with any block that is in darkness. So, at nighttime, I'm not allowed to interact with any unlit chests or crafting areas. And by day, I'm not allowed to try mining any cave blocks in darkness. I am, however, allowed to place onto a dark block. And did Minecraft just crash on me? Nope. All good. I will, however, one moment. Okay, right, and we're back, now that hopefully that's been sorted out and it's not going to cause me more problems. And I was busy explaining the interesting limitations I'm playing with. I've mentioned so far that I'm not allowed to interact with anything in darkness. I am also not allowed to die, or at minimum, I am required to start up an entire new world when I die, because clearly if I get conquered, I'm not doing my job properly as a disciple of unconquered light. Thus, I am playing in hardcore. I then have a entertaining build palette, which might be the real challenge all along, and what I'm going to attribute for what got me killed the first time, rather than anything to do with, I don't know, wandering through areas at night because I didn't get enough building materials the first time to make my starter base. And because I got very bored sitting around at night. And that looks like sunset alert. Which is not good. I don't have a base yet. I also don't have a cave quarry that I can go hide in, but it's probably easier to fix that part. I suppose it's fitting that as a character whose skin looks very much like an elf, that I can't wear cold iron armor. Just saying. Okay, there's a distinct lack of convenient caves. Fine, I will just make my own. Yes. Remember, if you can't find a cave for nightfall, store-bought is fine. And yes, you'll see the interesting restrictions I have on my build palette when I get to start building things, especially since it's not, strictly speaking, restrictions so much as a encouragement to build with certain materials if those materials are available to me and can be found. And one of the things I will start to consider at around the point where I actually have the materials to make my starter base is locating the north-south axis of the world, because my challenge run includes an awful lot of strange things that I should do when I get the resources together. And one of those strange things is to build a Temple of Light exactly along that axis, facing towards 0, 0. And don't worry, you will see all of the challenges as we move on along, because they give me something to do in hardcore rather than build my cave to survive the first night and then forget about my world entirely and never touch it again. And frankly, what's Minecraft without a little bit of excessive ambition? However, you're also definitely going to see these, because this series is not going to end when the world goes poof, as evidenced by the fact that we're already in to World 2 so far, but rather we're going to end when I get a wither kill, or actually, it's not strictly speaking going to end when I get a wither kill, because I have stuff I might do in the post-game, but it is not permitted to end until I get a wither kill. The wither or bust. Right, and that's going to be enough to make both a upgraded pickaxe and a shield. At which point, my failure to get iron armor is not going to stop me from getting off to a, or my inability to wear iron armor is not going to slow me down much. And I'm aware that I have this here golden axe from the chest earlier, but I made an iron axe because the iron's going to be much more reliable, and I have no prohibition against using iron tools. I just can't wear iron. And that looks like we're getting close to sunrise, and it also looks like I'm not about to get shot by a skeleton. Spoke too soon. Or, nope, I spoke at just the right time. But I have learned my lesson, and part of that lesson is be patient and wait for sunrise, regardless of how much I want to get to building. Because I don't have my good netherite in late game armor. And skeletons really, really hurt if you have neither armor nor a shield. And I believe that if I were wanting to properly pretend to be playing the game as intended, I would be locating 0, 0 by way of making a compass. But I have access to the F3 screen, and am prepared to receive divine revelation as to where I am located, and where I need to go. Well, I'm not a kilometer out, so that's good. However, I'm also going to pick up a pumpkin before I go. Because jack-o'-lanterns are the first full-block light source I will acquire as I progress through a Minecraft world. And light sources are sacred in a Lux challenge run. So I really need to start getting on my growing jack-o'-lanterns project. Okay, 42 birch logs might be just barely enough to get started. Real question is, do I have enough time? I have enough torches to establish a reasonable light perimeter. Looks like it's aligned along this river, which is going to be inconvenient. However, I'm allowed... Oh, no! Up on this plateau. That I can work with. And let's put my starter house up on this hill. Close enough to my temple so that I'll be able to easily construct the sacred building to house the light when I get around to that. And it's nice, flat, and open, and gives me plenty of space to work with. And I will have enough iron left to be able to make another iron pick, so I don't have to stress over that. I just have to stress over the fact that I have not built my house for the night yet. And panicking is not the correct answer. I will redo the floors later when I get around to it. Right now, I have a house to build, and not much time to build it in. I'm going to fancy that up an awful lot later, but... Again, that's 3, 7, 8. And I am allowed to place into darkness. I'm also going to build my shield, because I really should have done that by now. What was I thinking? Honestly. Tip from people who know how to build stuff in Minecraft and how to survive. This is a terrible method for surviving your second night in Minecraft. And if any of these zombies had actually been skeletons, I would be in so much more trouble. Zombies I can deal with. And as for the reason I am specifically using granite, I'm not actually specifically going for granite, rather, every one of the stone variants happens to include a certain amount of nether quartz. And one of the first uses for nether quartz that I discovered when I was playing it a long time ago, or one of the early uses for nether quartz, if I'm remembering my game development notes correct, or if I'm remembering my patch orders correctly, was daylight sensors. And it's still one of the things you can use nether quartz for. So, since every one of these stone variants includes a certain amount of daylight magic, nether quartz, all of them are considered to be more in keeping with the theme than ordinary stone, and thus I need to filter out ordinary stone in favor of fancier stone. And I know this might be a disappointing starter base to those of you familiar with the type of starter bases I build on Titancraft, but on Titancraft I don't mind dying 3 times while putting in my roof or getting all of the materials together. Ooh. And it's taken long enough that the sun's actually rising. And once again, need more birch. Insert more birch logs to continue. Drat. So I decided this was as good a place as any to stick a metaphorical chapter break and a to be continued. So, the building of my starter base is to be continued in the next episode. However, if you want to stick around, we have some of the more interesting moments from my first attempt at this hardcore world. And of course, if you liked it, I hear asking for people to sub actually makes a meaningful difference on YouTube, and I'm small enough that I need to play these games. Mark this center line with the one block I have access to so far that absolutely could not have spawned there naturally. Now, as you may or may not have mentioned... Alright, I do not have elytra. Figure out from the name of this, which translates, I believe, out of Latin, literally as light unconquered. And I should continue progressing my way through the Minecraft tech tree while I monologue. Yes. As you may or may not have guessed from the name, and the fact that I said this was going to be something inspired by the deity challenges, I am playing as a servant of, No, go away, bad creeper. Oh, that worked. Which means let's return back to my, highly obnoxious location for building a starter base and in the middle of a hardcore world. And begin step 1. Let there be light. Or actually, I don't think that is the name of step 1, but begin step 0, put down torches. My inner builder is dying slowly from shame at this. This build is unforgivable. However, as long as it involves no literal dying, I'm fine with. And the problem with birch saplings is that they look just that touch too much like creepers. There goes my crafting bench. A creeper isn't going to kill you unless you get stuck somewhere where you can't back up a step while it's exploding. It just blows up your stuff. Which admittedly in the average Minecraft world is worse. I'm not allowed to mine that block. Now I'm allowed to mine that block. I have nowhere near enough blocks. Full stop for this. How many skeletons there are. At least one of the skeletons has seen me. Rat. Spider is following, but I don't mind the spider. Oh no. Now there are two ways of approaching this. And I am about to take the, Oh well.